Brittney Gregory was born in the spring of 1988 in a small town called Brick, New Jersey. She was the youngest of 5 siblings. At that time, all the children lived with their father. Brittney developed warm relationships with all her relatives, but she had a special bond with her sister Brianna. Despite the age difference between them, they were like best friends. Brittney did very well at school. She was very good and got the best grades. His teachers saw great potential in him and predicted a successful future in science. Despite this, she remained humble and friendly. She was always ready to help her classmates. Thanks to this, she had many friends. Brittney had an unusual dream, to become a forensic scientist. In the summer of 2004, Brittney was living in her father Jordan's house with her sister Brianna and her father's new partner, Laurie Peterson. Their house, located near the school, was the last house on the street and adjoined a wooded area. At the time, Brittney was dating John Fitzgerald. Their relationship had been going on for almost 2 years, and you approve of this choice because his family sees John as a good person. Around 20:30, Brittney called her mother on her cell phone. Her friend John asked to be picked up, and there was a distinct sense of uneasiness in his voice. Her mother explained that they were away at the moment, but Brian could come in an hour. Brittney accepted the offer. After 45 minutes, Brianna tried to reach her sister, but she did not answer her calls. Brittney said you or another way. Thinking that she had found Brittney, Brianna got worried and found her empty room. All of Brittney's belongings, including her phone, were still there. At first, Brian thought that Joha might stay there. However, this seemed strange. When Brianna raised the alarm, law enforcement took her concerns very seriously. They thought she might have been with her sister's friends or just wanted to clear her head. But Bree explained that she had been looking for all her acquaintances and Brittney's boyfriend and no one had seen her. Also, all her belongings, money, and phone were left at home. After the arguments, the investigator finally started searching. They first examined Brittney's father's house, where she disappeared. There was indeed a phone and a purse left there. All her personal belongings were in place. No other clues were found. The investigator spoke to everyone living in the house, because in such cases, the role of close people is usually important. It turned out that every family member had a confirmed alibi. When asked about the reasons for the breakup, John explained that he saw Brittney C with another man at a party and decided to start a relationship with a new girlfriend. John last saw her on July 10th, the day before she disappeared. At that time, Brittney gave him a reconciliation letter when law enforcement asked him to show her the message. John immediately sent a letter to the young woman apologizing for his When asked about the reasons for the breakup, John explained that he saw Brittney C with another man at a party and decided to start a relationship with a new girlfriend. John last saw her on July 10th, the day before she disappeared. At that time, Brittney gave him a reconciliation letter when law enforcement asked him to show her the message. John immediately sent a letter to the young woman apologizing for his behavior. Their last meeting took place during a joint lunch, where his behavior again caught the attention of those present. Investigators suspected Anthony may have been following Brittney during questioning on July 11th near the woods. He denied being present. He admitted to seeing Brittney at parties frequently because they were in the same circle of friends, but denied the accusation that he was just being friendly towards her. Anthony claimed that he spent the evening at home with his new girlfriend. Police contacted the young woman in question, and she confirmed Anthony's statement, giving serious grounds for suspicion. After that, the investigators went back to Brittney's message to Joha and noticed some telling phrases in the last part of the letter. The investigators were worried about a possible desperate action due to the failed relationship, but the parents strongly opposed this version. They said that their daughter, who was determined, full of life, and had big plans for the future, was unsuccessful. They claimed that they would not do such a thing because of a relationship. When the investigation came to a standstill, the security forces appealed to the public through the press to find possible witnesses. Police officers from neighboring areas joined the case and offered to help. During this time, the parents remained passive on the phone. Instead of waiting for news, they decided to do their own research. During a detailed search of the house, the police made an interesting discovery. Among the pages of a magazine was a letter with unexpected content written by Britney for a competition. In the letter, the young woman talked about her difficult life situation. Her addict mother had left her at a young age. Her father and her relationship with her partner was strained, and she visited her brother every week in a correctional facility. She admitted her mistakes but emphasized her goodness of character and her desire to follow a different path and not repeat her parents' fate. Britney longed for a better life and dreamed of becoming a criminal to help with the investigation. After the discovery of this note, the police launched a new investigation. They developed theories, turned their attention to Britney's family, which they had not previously considered in their investigation. While examining the surroundings, detectives discovered an interesting detail. The house where Britney lived supposedly operated a massage parlor, the services of which were provided by her father's partner. Lauren Pan, and was regularly visited by various men, some of whom had become regular customers of the residence. The neighbors also mentioned suspicious items in the house, hinting at Lauren's possible involvement in distributing them. Detectives suspect Britney's disappearance is no coincidence, and that one of her salon customers may have been involved. She maintains close ties, and her daughter was engaged to Britney's incarcerated brother. Britney's mother is shaken by Jack's arrest. No conclusive evidence has been found, and relatives are still hoping for a good outcome. It seemed impossible to them that Jack could be involved in this. A few months before the incident, Britney helped save the life of an acquaintance. She was visiting her daughter and they found her unconscious. Britney immediately called the emergency services, and the paramedics were still able to help the man after the overdose. Her relatives told her how to rescue her. The parents were shocked that Jack could cause harm. Jack Fuller had 48 previous convictions for possession and theft, with a most recent sentence of 5.5 years. He was released shortly before the young woman's disappearance. The family believed that at worst he would get paid for a dose, but nothing more. He could have taken jewelry, but he wouldn't have hurt anyone. Later it was revealed how the police found the trace. A call came to the police station with information about Jack Fuller. Jack reportedly complained of back pain from digging in the sandy soil. At this time, Jack assured him that no one would be able to find the place, and asked how deep he had to dig so that animals would not smell it. The police asked the informant to meet with Jack and record the conversation. During the interview, Jack confirmed that he had covered the tracks securely enough. He confessed to his involvement in Britney's disappearance and explained that he did it because he saw her. Then Jack said that he also had to deal with another person who knew a lot, his childhood friend Tommy, who was sitting in the car. At the end of the conversation, he called it a joke and drove off with his friend. Law enforcement brought Tommy to the police station for questioning, and he refused to cooperate and denied everything. But the detectives played him a recording of Jack talking about his intentions towards his friend. When Tommy realized the situation was dangerous, he decided to notify all law enforcement he knew. On the evening of the disappearance, he and Jack were driving around and using illegal substances near Britney's house. Jack was looking for more. He decided to stop by his father's house to see him. The door was open, and he went in, but the owner wasn't there. 5 minutes later, Jack returned to the car with Brittney. When Tommy asked what had happened, the young woman was quiet and looked down. Jack said he would take Tommy home. He then walked away with Brittney. The next day, Jack avoided any talk of what had happened. They went to a car wash where he cleaned his car inside and out with unusual care. The car wash made a joke about it, but Jack reacted aggressively, implying the consequences of excessive curiosity. Tommy said Brittney was missing. When she found out, she began to understand the situation. When she asked Jack about it, he became angry and claimed that he was just dropping the young woman off at home and warned her not to ask unnecessary questions. Tommy tried to burn Jack's car in their presence, because he might have taken Brittney to the woods. An examination of the vehicle found traces of Brittney's presence in the car wash. Jack's interior was found in the car wash. It was revealed that he had used a vacuum cleaner to clean up the dirt and biological traces belonging to Brittney. Despite the evidence, Jack refused to talk about the Brittney case and remained silent. When questioned by the investigator, acquaintances described him as a dangerous person who could commit serious crimes. He had no official business anywhere, but he had money because he distributed illegal substances and forced addicts to do illegal acts in exchange for doses. An interesting case emerged after Brittney's disappearance. A patrol police officer noticed Jack's car parked at the edge of the woods in a deserted area outside the city. When asked why he was in this strange place, Jack said he was looking for his escaped dog. This place became the focal point of a search operation involving law enforcement, dog trainers, aviation, and volunteers, but to no avail. According to the investigator, Brittney in the evening, she was looking for a way to reach her boyfriend when she met Jack, who she knew. She had no other choice, so she accepted his offer to take her. The subsequent events turned into a tragedy. The case took an unexpected turn. When a woman approached the police with information about the possible location of the evidence, it turned out that Jack was a drug addict and had been with her for several months. She had been under his control during this time. He had learned her habits, her routes, and the secret places she regularly went to with him. He had once shown her a place and stated that no one would ever find anything there. The detectives were initially skeptical of the woman's words and began checking the details. The woman was able to describe the terrain accurately and mentioned the nature of the ground as sandy. The detectives immediately recalled an informant's report that Jack had complained of difficulties with the loose sandy ground. The woman's statements sounded credible, and they conducted a search of the area. The area turned out to be vast, and after several days of searching yielded no results. Experts made a comparative analysis of the soil of this area with the sand in the vacuum cleaner. After finding an exact match, they decided to continue the search. On July 27, 2004, the search dogs took the search teams to a spot with significantly sparser vegetation. When they checked with a long probe, their concerns were confirmed. They soon found what they were looking for. A piece of jewelry was found at the scene, a necklace with Brittney's name on it. Detectives realized their long search was over. Experts confirmed the identity of Brittney Gregory. The exact cause of the incident could not be determined due to the condition of the person found. Jack decided to plead guilty and make a deal with the prosecutor in hopes of a lighter sentence. The family accepted this decision to avoid a grueling trial. Brittany's mother made a statement saying she did not want the harshest sentence for Jack. She said it was too much. It would have been an easy way out. He preferred to spend the rest of his days behind bars thinking about what he had done. Jack testified that Brittany had asked him to take her to a friend's house, and he also admitted to this. After dropping off his friend Tommy, he was left alone with Brittany. According to his own statement, they stopped at a place and used illegal substances there. This caused Brittany to become disgruntled. According to him, a conflict developed in which he lost control, but his version of events was also confirmed by detectives. The expert's report was significantly different from Jack's account, and pointed to completely different circumstances of the incident. In addition, some details discovered by detectives pointed to other possible criminal motivations. The court found Jack guilty and sentenced him to 30 years in prison without the possibility of parole.